When I started again, I could sing. It was like from nowhere, like a gift from God. I literally wake up one day and was like, la 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 la, you know.
Energy. Hit music only.
So welcome, Damian,
Thank you very much.
alias XOV, to the ENERGY Startalk. How are you?
I am very good, thank you.
And is it sometimes hard to perform your songs in front, in front of media people, just proving yourself?
No, I don't really. I don't know. It's not. It's hard, but not because of that. It's mostly hard because the songs come from like a dark place, and when I go out on stage to deliver that, I go back to like the darkness. So like after the show, I can't talk to anyone. I remember after that show, I was like, ran out. I went to my dressing room, and people were like running after me, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm really good. I just want to be alone." It takes a while to like be able to socialize. That's the only thing.
So how do you prepare? Do you have a ritual when you go on stage?
Whiskey.
And during your time here in Germany, did you
Yeah.
learn some German words already?
Yeah, I can say ich heiße XOV. Ich liebe Energy. Das ist der Hammer. And was los?
But you also have to order a beer to survive here.
But I just say whiskey, no ice. And that
That
people
works
get a
too.
universal language,
And why XOV?
XOV is a signature. It stands for XO, hugs or whatever, V. So it's a signature. Because I used to call myself V as a producer. And when I debuted on SoundCloud, people would be like, "Oh, this song is so good." And I would be like, "Thank you." And I would write XOV. So it's like, it became my signature. And then it became my what people started to call me.
And you moved to Sweden then, or
Yes, I came to Sweden as a war refugee when I was 1 with my parents. You know what? I grew up in a immigrant suburb called Tensta, where there's a lot of people, from different war zones in the world. And honestly, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, growing up in a melting pot, with lots of different cultures. My best friends were Arab, Eritreans, like from all corners of the world. So it wasn't hard. Obviously, when you grow up and you become older and you realize maybe that your life hasn't been normal, that's kind of hard to grasp. But I don't remember my childhood as being specifically bad. Although my father was a drug addict and I grew up like in the suburbs. But the suburbs, like Tensta, where I grew up, it's one of the best things that have ever happened to me. So,
what's your favorite food or your favorite dish?
oh.
Apart from currywurst.
Well, I'm a huge foodie as a person, so I like all sorts of food. I love everything from like döner and currywurst to like sushi, Korean barbecue. I couldn't name one. It would be like asking a parent, who's your favorite child.
How was that at first, to switch from rapping to singing?
When I was rapping frequently, at first it was like aggressive rap, then melodic rap, and then I stopped for like 3 years. And when I started again, I could sing. It was like from nowhere, like a gift from God. I literally wake up one day and was like, la 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 la,
And how did it continue then, your career as an artist?
Well, it's my career, or my life pretty much has been like a very, very, very good roller coaster, I would say, with, really high highs, and then it crashes down to like really low, big lows really fast, and then up again. So it's been a ride and a journey for the past years. But right now I'm in a really good place.
Lord discovered you for the Mockingjay soundtrack. How come that she listened to your music?
My phone is like, I get this notification and it says like, Lord has sent you a private message. And all it says is like, "Hey man, can you please contact me? I want to ask you something." And I looked at my manager and I was like, I just got some fake, spam message from some, silly spam Lord account. And I didn't take it seriously. I like put the phone away. And she was like, "Dude, you should check that out. It might be real." And I did, and it turned out it's her. And she was like, "I love your song Lucifer. I'm a big fan of yours and I love your music." And she told me about the Hunger Games, that she's putting together the soundtrack, and she really wanted me to be part of it.
And Lucifer is your first official single here in Germany.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that song a little? What's
Absolutely. Well, a couple of years ago, my life crashed in a really bad way. And a couple of people that didn't know me kind of took advantage of the situation and pretty much stole money from me, to make a long story short. And I found myself being, homeless. I was bankrupt. I was emotionally drained. I didn't have any place to live. So my friend borrowed their cabin that was like up north in Sweden. So I was sitting there in this forest. I was drunk. I was angry. And I was just thinking about these people that screwed me over. And, I come from a rough place. A lot of my friends growing up with are like in jail, or they're like gangsters. You know what I mean? So a part of me was like, do I call someone and have them take care of it? The getaway? Do I go to the cops? Do I, get a lawyer and sue them? What do I do? And all of these thoughts manifested in the song Lucifer. And it was the weirdest thing, because I was sitting there in this cabin in the darkness with candles lit, and I was like screaming the devil's name, or not screaming, but singing, "Oh, Lucifer," and it was recorded in that environment. And it was it was a storm outside. My dog was barking. I wish I had videotaped it because it really felt like I was in the presence of the devil, kind of.
Your record company says that they describe you as an ex-bad boy. Is that true?
To go back to what I told you earlier, my childhood was good, but once you reach the ages of 12, 13, you start realizing, well, why haven't I had a father? You realize that your father was a drug addict. It all comes back to you, how all the bad things you've been through, and it comes out in a very bad way. And where I grew up, there's a lot of people that come from those situations. So if you put a team of guys together, it gets violent and people are angry, and there was a lot of fighting. At one point, I got all my teeth beaten out when I was 13 in a gang fight with Nazis, like neo-Nazis. And I know people that have been stabbed and shot to death, and it's been very violent and very, very bad indeed. And most of my childhood friends are in jail. So,
are you kind of control freak?
I am absolutely a control freak when it comes to my music. I'm like an overprotective parent. I think that's when people listen to my music or hear my stuff, they can be sure that they see something that's real and that it isn't, part of a bigger thing. It really comes from me, and I've taken every single decision, with my closest, team.
And so then we are looking forward.
Thank you.
Good luck with the album, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Energy. Hit music only.